just woke up from a 3-hour nap, and I gotta say, without exaggeration, it was definitely one of the best things that's ever fucking happened to me. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about something, and I feel like I need to put a warning because I know the stuff that I'm about to talk about could piss some people off, and it also could upset some people in various types of ways. Understandable for both of those things. But in order for me to, like, give you guys the full context of this, I have to give the full context. So I went all through junior high and high school with this kid, and I knew he existed. I saw him. I think he may have even ridden my bus. I was the same age as his cousin. My sister was really close to his cousin. Just like one of those people that you share a space with, but you never become close with and you don't really ever care about. They're just kind of like there. So I'm trying to think. My youngest son is almost 10. And this all started happening when he was a baby, like maybe 3 months old. So damn near close to a decade ago. So like 6 years, literally 6 years out of high school. I get a message from this guy on Facebook, and I accepted his friend request because I recognized him from school. My sister's like, oh yeah, I'm around him all the time. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't really think anything about it is what I'm trying to say. He somehow ended up getting my phone number and sending me pictures of his unsolicited, and he would like text me all day and like try to hang out with me all the time, and all the time I was just like, dude, no, like, I'm not interested. I don't want anything to do with anybody that is sending me unsolicited pictures. Like, at this point, I had already blocked him on, like, Facebook and Snapchat and all that shit. I don't know if he was, like, making new accounts or if he had, like, multiple burner accounts. But every time that I would block him on an account, I would just get a friend request from another one. Like, there was a stupid fucking picture, you know? And, like, he pursued me very, very hard. And I just was like, dude, I'm not fucking interested. I don't know if he just was drunk rambling to me through text message, just, like, hoping that I would respond. Because I never carried on conversations with this man. Like, he would sit there and talk to himself. He would sit there and talk to himself in my DM and, like, through text. The one time that I did text him back prior to what I'm about to tell you was when I was like, dude, I know that you know that I blocked you. I know that you know that I blocked you. So why are you sending me another friend request? Like, aren't you fucking embarrassed? You know what I mean? So he ends up somehow, some way telling me that he's a vet. A Marine, and that he had been deployed, and that he had seen combat, and had to do all these seriously fucking awful things during that time. And that he struggled with his mental health, and his drinking was so bad because of that. And just the things that he would text me 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning saying this shit to me. And the thing about me is, when I was 18 years old, my grandpa unalived himself because he was a vet. He was a Vietnam vet, and he never took care of his mental health. He took care of his mental health via a Jack Daniels bottle. Like, he had severe PTSD, and he made it all the way to, like, his 70s before he did it. And I know how badly it, like, traumatized my dad and, like, his brothers and his sister. So I take that shit very seriously. So he's texting me and telling me, you know, all this shit. He's Marine. He's done things that nobody should ever have to do, and he has PTSD, and that's why he's awake so late, because he can't sleep without thinking about it. So he's like, can I call you? I just need someone to talk to. And I was like, sure. Don't ask me why. I don't fucking know. I ended up staying up on the phone with this man every night for months until the sun came up, while he told me things that I can't say on YouTube without my video either getting flagged or demonetized, etc. But it involved firearms and children and just awful shit. Like awful, awful, awful shit. And he would cry. I mean, he would sob on the phone with me. And he would be like, I really wish I wasn't alone right now and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, you know, it is 4 o'clock in the morning and I do have 2 babies and I don't allow men in my house. As much as I have known of you and been in your presence, you know, throughout our lives, it's just not going to happen. And this went on for months. This went on for months. And I brought it up to my sister one day. I can't remember how it came up. It may have been that she was like going to go hang out with his cousin. Now, he is so close to his cousin that they grew up in the same house together. Like, I thought they were siblings because they have the same last name. They look exactly alike. As it turns out, they're cousins. I brought it up to her. I was like, man, he's really keeping me up at night. I haven't been able to sleep. And she's like, why? And I told her, I said, because he has PTSD from his time in the Marines. And she looked at me and she was like, what are you talking about? I was like, he tells me about these awful things that he had to do while he was deployed and how he can't close his eyes without seeing these people's faces and I mean, sobs, like he sobbed. And my sister looks at me and she's like, says his name. She's like, we're talking about the same person, right? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, no. He's never been in any branch of the military, let alone deployed, let alone seen combat, let alone done any of that shit. So he had been emotionally manipulating me for months by selling me this story of him being a vet that had to do, you know, awful things nobody should have to do, you know, to people who didn't deserve it, for months. Like, he did this to me for months. And he did it because he knew that it was the only way that I was ever going to give him any type of attention. Circle back to what I said about my grandfather and everything like that. Shit is very near and dear to me. So at this point, I just stopped responding to him. I stopped answering his text messages. I stopped answering his phone calls. Then I got a new cell phone. Enter iOS, whatever it was, that gave you the feature to block people's numbers without having to go to your fucking cell phone provider and do it that way. So I blocked his number. Through the years, he has continued. Like, I don't use Facebook anymore, but up until I left Facebook, he continued to send me friend requests from various accounts. I have him blocked on TikTok. I had him blocked on Snapchat, but he still somehow views my stories when I post one once a year. Like, you can see who views your stories. His ass is right there within minutes. Probably because Snapchat now sends you a notification when people post new stories. It's awesome. I fucking hate it. He's, throughout the years, has gotten new numbers, and I have had the same number for years. It's attached to accounts that I have had, like my Gmail and all that I have had for years that I constantly lose the password for. So I have to use it to recover things. So I have just kept my number. And honestly, I shouldn't have to fucking change it. But he texts me from new numbers for years, and I would just block them. Like, it's just been this stupid fucking, like, game of like, cat and mouse. Like, him just trying to be in a place where he can reach out to me and speak to me. A couple of years ago, like, when I still used Facebook, I did flip the fuck out on him. I did send him a message when he sent me a friend request and was like, dude, give it up. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, give it the fuck up. Like, I wish that I would have kept an intricate fucking list of all the various different accounts that you have sent me friend requests on, or text me from, or sent me Snapchats from. And the fact that he, like, found me on TikTok without me having, like, my real name on there. And let me tell you, he's not, like, some technologically advanced, like, threat. He's just never puts his cell phone down. And, you know, things like TikTok will show you if somebody that's in your contacts is on TikTok. Snapchat shows you if you have mutuals with other people. They'll show you the people that, like, you have mutual connections with. It's just like there are ways for people to find you that you don't want to find you, that don't have to do with them being like some kind of super genius, or even if you want to be even more relaxed about it, without them even trying. Like, literally, they don't even have to try. These apps and like, they just hand you to people. That's another big motivator I had in leaving TikTok. He has my number saved. He has to have my number saved, because every time he gets a new number, he would try to text me. He hasn't in years, though. He just stalks my Snapchat. But he came in last night. He came in last night, and he was standing at the end of the bar, and he was like, he called me like 3 different names. And he's like, didn't I go to high school with you? And I hear my sister behind me in the office let out this fucking cackle. I mean, it was Halloween, like a Halloween witch-esque cackle. And she pokes her head out of the office and says, are you really going to try to pretend like you don't know who the fuck she is? And he was like, I haven't talked to you since high school. And my sister, like, I'm standing between them. My sister's standing here, and he's standing here, and I'm in between them. And my sister was like, you didn't talk to her at all in high school. What do you mean? You only talked to her after high school, and you're going to sit here and try to pretend like you don't know who she is. Like, nothing about this man makes me feel unsafe. I don't think he's going to, like, do the various list of things that, like, stalkers do, because I wouldn't take it so far to say that he stalks me so much as it's just, like, he's a little hung up on me in a weird way. I don't know. How would you describe that? How would you describe that? Because he's never, like, shown up to my house. And I know, the thing is, I know that he knows that I work there during the day because I've served him food before. But I don't think that he showed up at my job just because he knew that I was there. Like, I don't know who, like, would have been like, oh, yeah, she's there. Like, nobody cares, you know? So he continues, he sees my ring, and he says, oh, I see you have a ring on your hand. I said, yes, I've been married for a few years. And he got this look on his face, and he was like, how's that? And I was like, it's fine. I said, I love being married. Not everybody hates their spouse. It's not miserable. It's not the fucking ball and chain. If you're miserable in your marriage, leave. And he's like, oh, yeah, really? I was like, yeah, I don't hate my husband. I don't hate being married. And my sister was like, not every relationship is miserable. Not every relationship is made up of 2 miserable people. And then he starts asking if he can touch my hair. He asked if he could fucking touch my hair. And the guy that was sitting directly beside him, who's this like old redneck guy, was like, dude, that's creepy. Like, why would you ask to touch her hair? He was like, that was aggressive. That was aggressive. And my sister was like, at what point did you think that that was appropriate coming out of your mouth? Hold on, I'm having a hot flash. But then his ex-girlfriend comes in, and she is already sloppy fucking drunk. I mean, staggering, crying, can't hardly sit still. Plops down on the bar stool beside him and starts crying and screaming, go to Virginia, go to Tennessee. And I wanted to look at her and be like, I didn't realize that she was like his ex-girlfriend. I just thought that she was some girl that he talked to. And I wanted to pull her to the side. If she wasn't drunk, I would have, and been like, how much, what has he told you about himself? Because if he would lie about something that extreme, it's hard to tell what he would lie about. But guys, when I tell you, he is the most underwhelming human being on the face of this earth. On the face of this fucking earth. It made everyone around me more uncomfortable that he was there than it did me. There was this guy there that he's family friends with. He's friends with me and my sister, and his mom is friends with my grandma and my aunt and all that. And when my sister and I were closing up, he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave until our cars were out of the parking lot, and he sat there to, like, see if any vehicles pulled up to, like, follow me my way. But I mean, he doesn't have a car. He doesn't have a car. No tea, no shade. He doesn't have a car. So I didn't know exactly how he was going to follow me, if everybody thought that. But also, he did end up leaving with his ex-girlfriend. She fell on the floor and started crying excessively. And yeah, I mean, he's no threat. He's no threat. He's just fucking weird. But I am a little sketched out about the fact that he knows that I work there, like, during the nighttime now, if he's gonna come in and try to, like, talk to me, because he did try for years to be face-to-face with me, to be around me, and now that's my job, is to be face-to-face and around people and talk to them. You know, it's my job. I stand at the fucking counter like Squidward and just talk to people. I mean, people told me all kinds of shit last night. I mean, wild things, personal things. I had like 2 people cry. And it's just like that he wanted that for years, and now I'm working on the weekends and he can have that, but the music is loud. And there are so many people in there that are watching because they know. But like when he's come in during the day and I've served him food, you can't really like get chit-chatty with me unless you stand at the counter. And I have made videos about that before. It doesn't make me very happy. And if I'm trying to do other things, if I've got other orders or something else to do, I can't stand there and talk to you. But at night, when I'm bartending, yeah, I'm right there. I'm just gonna tell one of the guys that's there, like the guy from last night, my friend, I'm just gonna tell him to turn the music up as loud as he possibly can. Like, I don't know how to describe it, and I don't know if you guys think that I'm stupid, and if you do, please tell me, but he just feels so absolutely not threatening, just super fucking pathetic. But I don't want him to ruin my bartending experience. I don't want to not look forward to my job because he's going to be there, hovering over the bar, trying to ask me questions. Like, he had his mind completely fucking blown over the fact that I don't hate my husband. I mean, mind blown over this. And I feel so stupid because yesterday in my video, I was like, I love bartending. I love bartending. And then here his ass comes in to, you know, threaten me loving it. Can I say this and not sound like a bitch? He's a loser. In every and all sense of the word, he's a fucking loser. And I think that's why I don't view him as a threat. Because he's a goddamn loser. He's a goddamn loser. My favorite way to insult people is to use the most bare minimum, just tip of the iceberg insults. Loser, stupid, shit like that. Because it just hits different now. It just hits different now. When I tell you, though, like the guy that stayed with us after work and waited for us to pull out and everything, he literally took a flashlight and looked through my van before he would let me get in it and drive away. Like, opened my little hatchback thing and looked in the back. Wasn't just satisfied with pointing the flashlight in and looking in my back seats. He, like, lifted the hatchback and looked in my trunk. So maybe other people see him as more of a threat than I do. I see a loser. A scrawny fucking loser is what I see. I just hope he doesn't ruin my bartending experience. I just hope, because I don't dread it. I don't dread it at all. And I don't want somebody to make me dread it. I don't want somebody to ruin it to the point that I don't want to go to work. There are like multiple people who will come in during the day when I'm in the kitchen or running the register that I hope don't show up because I don't want to deal with them, including but not limited to the same weird men all the time, right on schedule. You know what I mean? I just don't want him to ruin it for me. I don't want him to ruin my bartending experience. I don't want him to like, he makes everybody around me uncomfortable. I don't know though. I don't know. I came home, I took a 3-hour nap. It was glorious. I actually came home and Epps and I had sushi for dinner. And I took a 3-hour nap and I woke up and I was like, I gotta vlog something. And I cannot get out of bed. I haven't moved. I sat up. I mopped some of the grease off my nose, put my wig back on, and threw on my beanie. My eyelashes are hanging on for dear fucking life. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.